Are we on? Is it happening?
I don't know about you, but I have a mustache today.
Yeah, I got a mustache.
Yeah,
It's still
yours is
there.
the beard.
It's still there. How you doing, Brad?
Happy eCourse Adventures Tuesday. Nice to see you again.
Likewise, everybody. Thanks
Hello,
for joining
friends
us.
out there. You are at eCourse Adventures Live, and today we have Lisa Baker, and we're going to be talking about 3, 2, 1. Launch party.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm
Yeah.
talking about one of my favorite parts.
One of the most stressful parts of building a course is launching
The
your
most
course.
anticipated
Yeah.
aspect. You know,
Yeah.
we work so hard for possibly months, sometimes years, and we get to that point where we launch it. And, you know, it's really important to be successfully launching your course because if you put all that time in and not doing the launching part right, you'll be sitting there kind of stranded,
weeping.
Out in the ocean of nothingness.
Yeah, where's the people?
Exactly.
I made it. I watched Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. So we're going to talk about the whole launch thing.
So that's
and
coming up
in our
How Did You Do That
section. We're going to show you how we scaled the top of Marketer Ridge, where we actually pull ourselves up onto the cliff ledge. It's pretty cool.
All in the world of green screen. So we'll be showing you how we did that. We'll get into a couple other things if we have time.
After this.
It's
coming.
Wait
for it.
Wait there.
And we're back.
That's always so much fun.
Yeah.
Satisfying.
I like rock music. So, we both, as we announced last week in our episode with Aaron and Jessica, we talked about turning your website into a growth machine through testing, which we're actually going through their course right now. And I know there's a bunch of you that watched last week that are now also looking into going through their course that we're going through on advertising and marketing and testing. And I've been I swore off Facebook at the beginning of the year.
It's a true story.
I deleted my account and all this sort of stuff, and I had to resurrect it. And I've actually, the last week, I've been doing a lot of testing as I go through their course, and I'm actually having fun. I can't stop checking my ads manager to just watch the numbers.
If you're going to be addicted to something on Facebook, it might as well be your business ads. That's going to generate, leads and potential income and just helping people connect with your product.
I haven't looked at the wall. I haven't posted anything on the wall. I haven't sent a message or responded to any messages. I'm just stealthily in there, just tweaking away and playing with words and seeing. And it's really actually fascinating for me because I like writing. And so I'm writing all these combinations of words that are in alignment with our philosophies, and I'm watching how people are responding to them. And it's been pretty neat. And so we actually met with their web team this morning, and we're talking about having them help us build our whole eCourse Adventures public facing platform, which could be pretty cool. And for all of you out there in watching land, we're actually talking to them about working together on creating templates that essentially we would have a bunch of different templates for you to use for your sales pages and websites, and that would be tried, tested, and proven to work, and you would be able to use those as well. So there could be some cool partnership stuff coming down the line there. And Blair, last week, as we said, our investment in capital just came through last week, which gives us a runway to really fulfill the vision that we're trying to fulfill with eCourse Adventures and build a Netflix-esque platform for entertainment-based online education. So for all of you out there that are going through our courses, a space for you to host your courses and to be seen in the world, and for us to really start a movement in online education to produce the kinds of courses that we believe in producing. And so both of us took a little hiatus from the real world after that came through to celebrate and recalibrate. So where did you go?
I went up to Squamish, BC for a music festival. It was really lovely. It's called Blessed Coast. A really beautiful festival that is no alcohol, no drugs. At least that's the idea.
I'm sure everybody followed suit.
Yeah, it was nice because that seems to be a problem in a lot of this sort of like festival life, and it made a big difference. A lot of family, a lot of elders,
nice.
A really beautiful Indigenous, First Nations presence there with ceremony. So it's a really, really nourishing place to be going to and celebrating with the arts. A lot of great music, a lot of amazing visual artists as well. Dancers of all types doing their work up on stage, workshops. It was wonderful. Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired. I had a fun time, and which is kind of the opposite of your last little bit.
So while Blair was away, I went and house sat for him and took care of his cat.
Yeah.
And I had a sleep retreat. After grinding away for who knows how long, I felt tired. And so day 1 was a successful 16 hours of sleep. Day 2 was about 11 hours of sleep. And then day 3, I couldn't sleep. And I think I had 5 hours of sleep. And I woke up at 5:30 in the morning and I went to the golf course. It was our 90th anniversary. And I played 90 holes of golf in a day. And that was pretty awesome. I shot 10 under par. I was quite pleased.
Wow, after 90 holes of golf.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with that. It could have been a lot lower, but my last round I started to get tired.
Yeah, no kidding. Because how many holes in an actual game of
18
professional golf?
So it was five 18-hole rounds.
And even in a whole tournament,
yeah,
like a weekend tournament, like the Pro
72
Masters,
holes.
72.
Yeah, so I'm better than all of them, which is great. It was so much fun, though. I mean, we just went round and round. It took us about 12 hours of non-stop golfing. And then at the end, our last 3 holes, we had a bunch of legacy members come out. And these are guys that were in their 90s, and they finished out with us and played the last few holes. So it was pretty special.
Cool. Amazing. Yeah. Awesome.
And so that just goes to say, like, there's the work and there's the grind. And it's important to work hard and to stay focused. And also to celebrate the victories along the way. And take time out to live your summer life. So for all of you that are in our green screen magic course right now, and you're kicking yourselves in the butts and you're being hard on yourself because you haven't really dug into the content and it's just sitting there tapping you on the shoulder, it's okay. Enjoy your summer. There's like a holy flow for all of the steps that you need to take in your business, and maybe those steps will come in September, maybe they'll come in August when you've got some vacation time. Just put it in your calendar so that you have that anchor point to dig into whatever it is that you need to dig into. And hopefully we'll see you on the big stage in Green Screen Magic.
Oh, it's such a balance of finding that balance between work and play. And to nourish your soul when we're putting that extra time and grind into the work. And I mean, it's July 31st, so it's like right in the middle of the summer. So if you haven't gone to a lake or a river or some sort of body of water to get yourself nice and refreshed, you should. It's the middle of the summer. Yeah. So go and enjoy that. I guess unless you're down in maybe Australia, it's kind of winter down there. So
I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's still swimming weather wherever you are there. So do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you say? Let's talk about that thing that tends to be really stressful. I know for us, launching our various courses.
You said that word.
I know. Special word. Launch. Launching the Great E-Course Adventure. I mean, for us, the launch is the pre-sale. When we launch a course, so I'm sure we can dig into pre-sales as well. Like when we launched Green Screen Magic, it was like 6 weeks before it went live. We were pre-selling at a discounted prices. And for us, that was our launch. That helped us to actually stay focused and to know that there was an audience available to purchase the course. With the Great E-Course Adventure, same thing. We pre-sold it. We did an 8-week pre-sale where we gave people the option to try it out before they purchased it. And all of you that bought it helped to make it possible. I think we had about $32,000 in pre-sales, and that's what got us to Launch Summit, to actually build the course. And so launching, there's a lot of details. First, there's like, you just built the course. Does the course work? Are the automations set up properly? Did the shopping cart work? Like, you got to do all this testing. Plus, there's the whole marketing strategy. There's finding affiliate partners. So let's invite Lisa on, and we're going to talk about epic launches.
All right. Lisa,
Hello, Lisa. Wonderful to see you again. This is actually your second time joining us. This is the first time since doing eCourse Adventures live, but you came and taught a workshop on creating authentic partnerships a little while ago. So it's lovely to have you back and to see you again.
It's so great to be back. And Blair, it's great to meet you. You weren't, I don't think you were here when I talked over to you.
No, not last time. So yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Now, you've been in the whole e-learning biz and copywriting and marketing side of things for quite a little bit of time. Do you want to give us like a little walk through your history with launches and where you've seen the industry go, and kind of take us to how you're operating in it now?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a broad question.
I know we like to start broad and then we'll just narrow in as we go.
Yeah, so I started really working on online course launches in 2014, right around there, as a JV manager. So basically helping clients launch their online courses with mostly running their affiliate partnerships. And probably everybody's familiar with the whole affiliate partnership thing, how you get, a whole bunch of different people to help promote your launch and, promote your course, yada, yada, yada. So, and most of the clients that I've worked with have kind of followed the product launch formula model for the most part, where you have 3 pieces of pre-launch content. You talked about the pre-selling, which I think was maybe a little newer in 2014. It's pretty standard now, I think.
Yeah.
Basically to launch your course before you finish creating it, to pre-sell it. And I definitely recommend that. I think, as far as the launch itself, it doesn't really matter whether the course is made or not, like how you're going to do the launch. That's kind of a separate question. But the nice thing about launching first is then you have money to make a better course.
Totally.
And you're not wasting all your time and effort on, something that nobody's going to buy.
Yeah.
Which
never a good thing.
No. People do a lot. Anyways, so I guess I've been doing that pretty much since 2014. And the last couple of years, I started working with smaller clients, solopreneurs, teaching them how to work with partners. And I don't have an online course yet, which maybe we'll get into that. I haven't done enough working with people one-on-one to feel like I want to make an online course yet.
Yeah.
Which goes back, we were talking a little before the show started about instructional design. That's part of my whole theory of like the right way to launch a course.
I actually love hearing you say that, because I hear so many people say, I want to make an online course, and that's before they've ever taught a workshop or worked with a client. And until you start like actually helping people get real results in the topic that you're going to be building a course on, you actually don't know how to teach the thing that you're going to be teaching other people. Like, it takes a lot of working with real humans and be like, oh, okay, I just coached you to do that. That didn't work. Or, oh, you had a resistance blocker that came up when we tried that strategy. Okay, I need to make sure I address that in the e-course version, knowing that every single person is going to have resistance pop up here. Like, there's so many things that are necessary. So congratulations on not launching a course. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah. With that said, though, I can tell there's going to be a really good course in you somewhere.
Yeah.
Once we can.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
It's kind of like the idea of like, I'm going to write my biography before I've actually got any life experience.
I know those people. Doesn't like every millennial go through that stage of like, I'm going to write my biography. It'll be about my life,
Yeah. You're 26.
Yeah. What life, you child?
Yeah.
No. So I forgot what I was going to say. I had an idea that just ran away. I got distracted.
We'll track it down.
Yeah, it'll come back.
So what we were talking about before I so wonderfully interrupted you, was just around the idea of pre-launching and how you supported JV partners to basically launch their courses, and then that kind of went into the whole pre-launch thing.
Yeah. So this is the thing that I've noticed over the last few years, particularly. I mentioned the product launch formula. I don't know. Are your listeners, your watchers? Sorry, we're on TV now.
Yeah. Jeff
Your watchers
Walker,
are
product
familiar with
launch
that.
formula. Basically, any of you that have signed up for a free thing have gone through the Jeff Walker product launch formula. You sign up for the free bait, and then you get sent 3 emails. And then after you've gone through those first 3 lessons, you are sent an email tsunami for the next 10 days to sign up now before it's too late.
Dun, dun, dun.
So it's like a 14-day launch window. Yeah, everybody does it. We've done it. We don't really do it
almost
anymore.
Over familiar with it now, I'd say.
Yeah, everybody does it, and it's so overdone. That's really the issue. And I think, when Jeff Walker, was it 10 years ago? I mean, it was a long time ago. When it was about 10 years ago when he first came up with this idea, and it was a very novel concept at the time because it was actually less hype than most people were familiar with, because he had the whole concept of sidewise selling, which was, rather than just come straight out and be like, buy my thing, it was like, first, let me give you free stuff, which is useful and valuable and helpful, and which gives you a taste of how great this stuff is. And then you're going to be more excited to buy the free thing. So back, 10 years ago, when people first started doing this, it was very novel, it was very exciting. And people were really like, oh my God, this video was really great. I can't wait for the next video. And there wasn't such a tsunami of this kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
But in the last few years, particularly, I feel like I really came in to the industry right at the time when it was peaking.
Yeah.
I think, probably 2014 is really 2015, right around there is when stuff really started to feel very oversaturated.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, maybe I was part of some of the last great launches, as far as like great, the really big ones where you have this crazy conversion rate. So we're talking about the marketing and the testing, so that was fun, whatever. But it does not, that kind of thing doesn't work the way that it used to. It's not as effective as it used to be if the goal is to make sales. And a lot of people are still, use launches just with the goal of growing your list, which is a really useful thing too. But of course, if you're launching a new online course, then your main goal is to make sales. And it's not even just because you need the money necessarily, unless you probably do, but mostly it's because in order for your course to become a good course, you have to sell it. You need to fill it with people so that you can then take a group of people through it and figure out what you need to tweak in the instructional design to make it the best it can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, I think, is the primary reason why you need to launch a course. We were talking before, like if you have a brand new course that you've never taught this in a group format, I don't care if you have taught this to 3,000 people one-on-one, and if so, damn, kudos to you. But if you've never taught it in a group format, you need to do it live. And in order to do it live, you need to get enough people in it at the same time. And in order to do that, you need to have some kind of a launch. Because, even if you've got an email list that's big enough to do that, that's great. Maybe you can just get people from your own email list. But either way, you need to launch it. You need to put stuff out there. And just, offering your course first thing is not going to, it's not going to get a bunch of people to sign up, So I think the concept of story selling and the sideways selling, I think that's still valid.
Yep.
And I think the biggest thing that's missing now that's making the product launch formula less effective is just the fact that, everyone has seen it. Everyone has been through it. People are a lot more sophisticated. They're a lot more aware. So when they see the free video, they know it's coming. They know that down the pipeline, there's,
I'm paranoid.
I know. I get anxious.
I can't give you my email address. I know it's coming.
So I think if you need to launch something effectively, then I think there's 2 things you need to do. Number one, I think you need to offer more free stuff.
Yeah.
It used to be like, and this is just a real basic thing, it used to be like a 4-to-1, 3-to-1 ratio of like, you give them 3 free things and then bam, you can have the thing, you can sell. And now I think it needs to be more of a 10-to-1 ratio. Where you're giving people just a lot more stuff that gives them a taste of who you are, of what you're offering, of the results they can get.
Yeah, totally.
But also, And you're seeing that a lot of the bigger, if you look at the big launches now, you will see there's a whole thing now. I just got a thing today about like the pre-launch. So now they have like the pre-launch content and they have the pre-launch content. And so they're doing this longer lead up. This is a really common thing that a lot of people are recognizing, a lot of people are starting to do. But I think the other piece that is still missing for a lot of launches is that you need a diversity of content. And because, so many people are just going out there like, here's 3 videos that are like teaching about my thing. And so maybe, you're going to do 6 videos teaching about your thing. But that's just so, it's so constrained, and it's not really going to give people an experience. And it's not going to necessarily give them results. Like free teaching is just not as valuable as it used to be. It's just not. I could learn this on YouTube for free. Here you are learning it on YouTube for free right now, So I think that the content needs to have a variety of goals. Because in the past, it's been like a lot of launches, kind of the main goal was just to teach stuff and maybe a couple other things too. But I think there needs to be a core goal of engagement where there are some launches, you see this sometimes with challenges and stuff like that. But live events, things that are more interactive and that are not about selling, that are just about getting people involved. And I think there's a lot to be pulled from other industries too. Like if you look at movie launches or TV shows, and like in the entertainment industry especially, there's a lot of really exciting stuff that I'm hoping to experiment with some of these kinds of ideas with my clients. Just more stuff that's just out there. Just the purpose is to engage and entertain.
Totally. Yeah, just like your favorite actor will be on all the talk shows. Like promoting their new movie, and it's just talking about it's entertaining.
That's fun. But like Game of Thrones did this thing where they built this like big like construction of a dinosaur skeleton on a beach, and it was I can't remember where it was. Did y'all hear about this? This was like This was like for a launch of, I think it was for a launch of one of the seasons. Obviously that kind of thing takes a lot of money, but this kind of like where you do some kind of guerrilla marketing type stuff. And what was the other one that did a ton of stuff like that? A TV show. There was a TV show that did a ton of guerrilla marketing a few years back that was just hilarious. Like Adult Swim, that was it. I can't even remember now what they did. They had people dressed up in crazy costumes, like standing by the side of the road for, and it's a total mystery. Nobody has a clue why or what's going on,
Yeah.
But
and that
kind of thing. What's that?
I said I love this sort of stuff. Like just get out of the box. How are we going to grab attention here to get our message out? Be
funny, be entertaining, be creative, engage people, be mysterious, know?
We got hired by a hemp company, just a quick side story, to produce a music video a few years ago. And we put it on Facebook. And on day one, like a big name health author, David Wolf, posted on his Facebook page. And overnight, we had 100,000 views on the video. And we're like, this is what it's all about. It took us 3 days to make this really funny and awesome music video showcasing the benefits of hemp. And overnight, there's 100,000 people that are sharing it on Facebook. And so, that sort of stuff is just, it's way more effective. That's actually one of the reasons why for all of our students, like we encourage you to create an e-course trailer, a trailer for the landing page of your course to, just like a movie. Who doesn't watch the trailer for a movie before they go watch the movie?
You're not going to commit to an hour and a half to wait to see if it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
Right?
So why would you commit to like 3 weeks of your life to sign up for somebody's course without seeing a trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would see the trailer.
Yeah, and I really like what you're chatting about too, about having more free content that's diversified.
Yeah.
And I think it's easier than ever to be doing something like that. And we all have these little pocket devices that have amazing cameras, even just going out and shooting some real lo-fi, real budget stuff, just starting to show who you are. I think that's the key. It's about the relationship of teacher-student rather than, because there's so many opportunities to find. It's like everybody's doing everything these days. And so it's like, how do you find your teacher? Right? It's finding the right one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That actually is there's another, yeah. So this engaging is one thing, like getting people involved and entertained, but then also presenting the story, which of course is the movie trailer thing, is like, the best way to do that. That's such a great way to do that. But
Yeah.
you can also tell stories about your customers and about your like your course's role in the world. You know, like the impacts that you want to have in the world. I just lost you guys. I can't see you. Is that just me?
Yeah, we're still here. It's okay.
Okay.
That's just the beauty of wonderful production.
Yeah, everyone wants to see you a little bit more. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah. So telling the stories, you know, I think, you know, it can be the stories, your own story about like why you made the course, but also about your customers and about the results. But I think the mission is a key thing too with stories, because I think another thing that a lot of courses probably fail to do is really inspire people.
Right.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I mean, this information there's so much information, and that's information is the I in EPIC. It's the E is engage, P is present stories, I is inform, and then C is commit to buy. But
whoa, slow down. Say that one more time.
Okay, so EPIC, E is engage. So, you know, stuff that gets people involved, that gets people doing things with you. P is present stories. So, you know, the storytelling. I is inform and teach, because that piece is important too. And I think particularly you want to make sure that you teach enough to give people real results. You know, so many of these product launch formula things, they'll put out this video where it's just like, you know, it's this thing that they could learn on YouTube in 10 minutes or even just by Googling, and it really doesn't give any actual results.
Yeah.
You know, you try it and it doesn't really do anything for you. And I think, you know, there's a balance that you need to strike sometimes between how much you can give away for free. But the more that you can, the more that people are going to, you know, experience it and benefit from it. And the thing that I've found that surprises me too with the giving away free stuff is it's crazy how you can give away so much for free, but people don't get it, you know? And I'm sure you guys have experienced this a lot with, you know, with launching stuff, and just because y'all do a ton of free stuff. Yeah. And, you know, but you can give all this stuff for free and people, they'll like consume it and even engage with it, but they don't necessarily really grasp it. And they'll still sign up to pay for something that is a lot of the same material. It's the same information, but it's, you know, they're going to get it in a different way because they're committing in a different way when they buy it, you know?
Right. Totally.
Well, the reason people invest in an e-course rather than just watching for free on YouTube is because they're investing in a process. They're wanting to be handheld through an experience that takes them from not knowing to knowing how to do something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. People can, like, you know, if you're very self-motivated, you can create your own process for that, you know? And so some people do, but that doesn't, you know, a lot of people want that help and it doesn't. So I don't think it takes away, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is like, you'd be surprised how much you can give away without it taking away from your course.
Totally. So what was C?
Yeah.
Oh, C is commit to buy.
Commit to buy. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Or you could say close the sale, but I just hate that phrase.
Nice. Put that there in our chat. And just a reminder for anyone that's watching live, if you have any questions, you can add it to our live chat and we'll get to those. But I think that's a big part of putting out the free content. Like, I've been watching this astrologer by the name of Kepacha for a number of years because he puts out a weekly free 15-20 minute just kind of download on what's going on in the solar system and such every week, and you can follow, and it's so informational for someone wanting to get into astrology, which I have been. And then I find watching him, I see him being able to go around the world and can be completely taken care of. His workshops are always sold out, and because he's continuously offering this free, super valuable piece of himself, you get to really enjoy him. So he becomes almost a little bit of a celebrity. So it's like when he comes to town, it's like, oh my God, Kate Batch is coming to town. Gotta go get tickets. You know, don't want to miss seeing him live. Yeah. And it's kind of like the merging of this e-course world that we've all been quite familiar with over the last decade. And what's been happening in the online, like, YouTube world of constant creation and creating almost our own personal celebrity among our crowd, our communities that start to grow.
I was actually meditating on this over the weekend, and just this simple idea came to me that, like, the more we open our doors to community coming into our home, and our home could be our online community or our courses, the more we just like openly share ourselves and what we have with people, the richer we become. And there's so much like so many payment gateways and like VIP access only, and just like this posturing thing that takes place, and like I really feel like our wealth is in relationships. And so how do we build relationships with the real people that are on the other side of the computer screens that are interested in what we're talking about and sharing? And you know, the company Mighty Networks, who we're soon to be shifting over to with our online community and our courses, like they're creating an amazing opportunity for anybody to build your own social network based on your interest and what you want to be, creating a closed community. So all of those Facebook groups that are full of distractions, you could create the go-to hub around your topic of interest, and you could curate courses on that topic, and you can also produce courses on that topic, which is a beautiful thing to offer, because it's really it's selling as a conversation. It's not a pointing the finger at other people, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Selling as a conversation is a really important phrase, I think.
Yeah.
I think, you know, and this actually, you're talking about relationships, which, as you know, Brad, is like my big passion, is partners to help promote your launch, and just relationships in general. And I think, you know, my core belief around that, you know, especially around like recruiting affiliate partners to help you share about your course, which you probably need to do if you don't have very much of a list of yourself, then you probably need to get other people promoting it too.
Yeah.
And that goes down to the value of your course, and just the intrinsic value of your offer. There's this, you know, there's two things about that. One reason why I've seen launches not do well, going back to that, is that sometimes people try to, and this is one of the challenges with free content too, you try to launch something, but you aren't clear in your message about how it's different from all the free stuff you've been doing, or about the other stuff you've sold in the past. And so everybody's just like, oh, that's really cool. It's the same thing I already did, even though it's not. So you need to be very clear on not just on the value of it, but on how you're describing the value of it.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips on how we can do that?
Be unique. You know, let me come back to that in a second, because I want to finish my thought about value in general. Because I also believe that the core value of your course is the way that you get partners on board. A lot of people feel like in order to reach out to partners to ask them to promote your course, you basically have to know people, and you have to just luck into knowing people, or you have to network your way and schmooze your way until you can convince people to get to know you, and then maybe hopefully someday promote you. And I think that's crazy. It's great. It's wonderful to like get to know people in a slow, you know, organic fashion. That's wonderful. But also, if you have something that is truly valuable for a partner's audience, then you don't need to be able to offer a reciprocal promotion. You don't need to have a list as big as theirs if you have something that's really valuable.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the free stuff. You need to be willing to give a lot of free stuff to the partners. One thing that I'm encouraging my clients to do now with launches is for their initial pitch to potential partners to actually be, hey, I'm working on this new course, you know, and it's on this topic, and I'm an expert on this, and I would love to do this for you for free. You know, do you want a VIP day? You know, can I offer you this thing? Let me help you with this thing. So the partners can, number one, experience the value for themselves, because then they're going to have a personal story to share with their own audience about how your stuff works and why it's awesome. But also number two, because then the way that you're asking people to commit is purely an offer. It's a value offer.
Yeah.
Rather than, sales is a conversation, but really as an offer conversation where you're trying to give them something, not trying to beg them for something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah, there's a big vibrational difference in those two things.
Totally. Totally. And that, that you have to recognize your own value too. And that goes back to my whole, I wrote a book called How to Grow Your Business and Be a Better Human, about connecting with people on a foundation of human equality and seeing that first. Because this is true, with the people that you're trying to teach, and also with the influencers you want to connect with, all of us have the same equal human value.
Yeah.
Where can we find that book?
Yeah, where is that book? It's at learnpartnermarketing.com.
Okay.
Learnpartnermarketing.com.
Nice.
I'll just put it in the notes here.
Is that is that a free offering when you give your email?
Yes, yes, that is free.
Right.
Yes, you'll get on my newsletter. Don't worry, I won't spam you because I'm really bad about it.
Yeah.
I'm super lazy. I think so back to the question you asked, like any tips as to like identify your core value. Well, the real expert on this, Brad, is our mutual friend, Tad Hargrave, who has a program called The Niching Spiral that I cannot recommend highly enough.
Totally. We just had him on the other week. So anyone watching, you can go
into
our little library behind this and watch our conversation with him. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's the genius at niching. But I think there's several different ways that you can kind of narrow down on your value. And for me, actually, this is my quick and dirty tip. Actually, well, I have a couple. And I have a game for it too, if you guys want to learn my game. But with an online course particularly, I think the easiest way to make it something really unique and really different and to narrow down on your core value is to offer it for a very specific audience. So, for example, I have a client who's a dating coach, and that's very generic, right? There's like zillions of dating coaches out there. How do you stand out as a dating coach? So she decided to narrow it down that she wants to be a breakup coach, and which is a bit more unique. There are breakup coaches, that is a thing, but it's it's a specific stage. It's like you're not looking to actually find a new relationship yet. You're just like you just broke up and you're transitioning through that stage. And then she decided to be even more specific and be a breakup coach for introverts. Which I'm like, this is awesome. I can't find anybody who does this. This is totally unique. But there's two things this does for her. Number one, it opens up a lot of different possibilities as far as types of influencers that she can connect with, because she doesn't need to just connect with dating coaches. She can, though, because she's offering something different. But she can also connect with people who help introverts, introvert business coaches and introvert, relationship stuff. There's all sorts of scenes in that whole world that are just a whole different thing, where she's going to be totally unique, right? So
nice, yeah. That's
we
quite
should do a great e-course adventure for introverts.
Sure, why not? Yeah. I think y'all should be for nerds or something. Okay, so Nerd Fitness is a great example of this.
All right.
Tad Hargrave is also marketing for hippies, right? You combine unlike things, or you take something that a lot of people do and you offer it to someone that no one is offering it to.
Right. And that's a good idea when it comes to entrepreneurial, intelligence, so to speak. Find those markets.
So my quick and dirty game for figuring this out is, I call it the index card game. And I actually learned it from, I can never pronounce her name, but the multi-potentialite lady. How do you like
Emily?
Yeah. Emily, yeah. I can't pronounce her. Emily Watnick, right? Isn't that her name? Yeah, I thought it was Emile or something Frenchy. Anyway, so I actually learned this game in a workshop that she taught at WDS, but I think I modified it. I'm not sure. But anyways, you take a stack of index cards, and you just, on each index card, you write something you're passionate about. And it does not need to be related to your business or your course or whatever. It can be anything. It can be, backpacking, protest camps, social justice, ending homelessness, human connections, launches, whatever. So you just playing guitar, you just e-courses, you just movies, you just list these whatever on the index cards, and then you flip them all over. You spread them out on the floor, and then you take 2 cards and you flip them at the same time. And then you meditate on how you could connect to these 2 things. And it is so freaking fun. This is like how I came up with the whole like radical human equality was because I volunteer a lot with people experiencing homelessness. And one of my favorite places to volunteer is Foot Clinic. I go there every week. I work on homeless guys' fungal toenails. It's like my favorite thing. But that combined with partnerships was how I came up with this whole idea of radical human equality, because I realized that the way that I relate to homeless guys is the same way that I relate to JV partners, and that there's this foundation of the way that I think about people that I think is really important in all human relationships. And at some point I will definitely do an e-course, that will be one of those. I can't even remember.
On homeless guy toenail hygiene.
No, I'm not going to do an e-course on that. I am launching.
There's a market for it though.
And we're launching a new clinic actually, because I do one on Mondays, but we're going to start one on the weekends with Food Not Bombs, which is a national nonprofit that we serve a meal every Sunday in the park. So anyway, it's going to be Foot Not Bombs. I'm super.
And so what city is this then, Lisa? Just so we can, if
Atlanta. And if anybody is watching in Atlanta and want to come volunteer with me, please email me. I will totally hook you up. Come do toenails with me. It's awesome.
Nice.
That's so wonderful. If you're ever in the Salt Spring area, my toenails could use some care.
Yeah.
I am all about toenails.
That's fantastic. I'm
not all about like lunches and partnerships. I'm all about toenails.
And that just makes me think of how important it is for us to be authentic and feel safe and free to actually express ourselves with what we really like, because that will bring success.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a guaranteed success if you really dive into your passion.
Well, and the idea around the merging your passion with the business, like that's how we got the Great E-Course Adventure. We were designing our courses while out on these epic hikes, and we're like, well, what if we turn that into the course on building courses, and we merge those passions?
An epic hike up this mountain, right?
Yeah, and so I think it's such a brilliant thing, and that's the idea. Like, why do we get into business for ourselves? Well, it's because we want to live this most ideal lifestyle, and most people think, well, I'll live the ideal lifestyle when I get the success of my business. But how do you make your business an aligned aspect of that vision that you're trying to create for yourself? Like if you're a life coach and you love hiking on the weekends, well, why not do hiking and life coaching at the same time? Because there's probably clients out there that want to do that.
I think you're onto something, Bradley.
There's just like, why not take your business idea and take your passion and bring those worlds together, and you've got like a unique offering that other people are like, I love hiking and I need a coach. Wow, I'm going to go with you because that's obvious. That sounds more fun.
Right. And then to circle back to launches, that makes it so much clearer in your messaging.
Totally.
When you have this unique angle on it. Then it's very easy to explain, here's why this is different, here's why this is special, here's what I'm offering. And it feels like something you're giving, rather than something that you're begging people to be part of.
Yeah.
Other quick and dirty trick I have for finding your unique value, and this one's also my favorite, they're both my favorite, is to just sit down and rant, write it down or type it or video, whatever you like, but just to rant about everything that is wrong in your industry, everything that everybody else is doing wrong, and all of the things that are just stupid and awful, and you'll come up with all of these things that you then realize you're doing differently.
Nice.
That works if you're familiar with your industry. I do find a lot of people.
That's kind of an important part, though, of it, isn't it?
Maybe y'all, I'm sure that y'all's people don't do this, but I find a lot of my clients are just like, they're not real familiar with their own industry. They're like, well, I do this thing, and yes, there's other people like me out there, but I don't worry about that. Like, okay, well, you need to study these people. But that can be a great exercise too, going through and studying your competitors. I hate that word. But finding the things you don't like about what they're doing, seeing the things, find all the online courses that are on the same topic as yours, and study their, because 9 times out of 10, you can find the outline of the course, on the website. Like, you can find the curriculum. So you can go through and be like, well, it's missing this whole huge piece that I find is the most important piece for my students, and they just left it out entirely,
Yeah.
And if you can get to the point where you can say, this is the only course that does X, then you have a winner.
Yeah.
I see a parallel, like, as a musician, that's an industry that's so saturated. And it's like, okay, how do we...
It's too much music.
It's so much music. It's already like, and it's not like I'm just going to sit back and not make music because it comes through me. But what I've been noticing as I get more and more into actually DJing is something I've been playing around with just for fun around here, and just because I like music and it's fun to do on a Saturday night here and there for friends and such. But the more I've been getting into that, the more I'm searching for music and trying to find the tracks that's going to get everyone dancing and having fun. The more I realize, oh my God, I can't find the music I'm looking for, because I'm actually going into it compared to just being in my room trying to make music for everybody. I'm trying to find what I want them to do, and I can't. And it's like, there's a hole. I need to make that music. And now it's like, there we go. There's like a nice little hole.
What kind of music do you make, Blair? Is it dance?
What kind of music do I make?
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking to...
Don't tell me you don't know.
Well, that's it. It's like, how do I describe this?
Okay, pause. In a past life, I was a booking agent for local bands in a venue, and like, anytime somebody walked in and was like, well, can't really describe it, I was like, don't want to mention that.
Later. Yeah, so I'm not quitting my day job. Yeah.
Come on, tell me what kind of music you do.
What do you do, Blair? Come on.
It's merging dance music, electronic music, and that sort of rhythms that get the hips moving, but bringing more of the sacred songs into it. So like medicine songs and stuff that you can, because I like sitting in ceremony and circle and singing a lot of that. So bringing that sort of music together. And sure, there's some producer DJs that are out there, but...
Ceremonial dance music. See, now I want to book you. That's awesome.
Nice.
Way to go. You got the gig.
All right, hey, Atlanta, Georgia, here we come.
No, don't quit that day job.
I'm not a booking agent here. This was like 20 years ago, past life. But
yeah, awesome.
That's great. I do indie chick rock that's half comedy and half social commentary. So there you go.
Oh, wow. Sweet. That's pretty fun. We'll have to get you on again, and we'll just like...
We'll do music.
We'll just make music videos for an hour.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Can we do that? That would be
totally. So let's just to kind of tie this into a knot. You've given some really great tips. Right before we get to the last notes, for those of you that don't like the word competition, I came up with another one that is called industry mirrors. So instead of your competition, it's your industry mirror.
I like that.
And they're simply just reflecting back to you what you need to know.
Would that come like during a dream, during
I
16
love that.
Sleep?
Your mirrors. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Your mirrors.
Yeah. So you can just learn from them rather than like try and compete and destroy them. It's just learn from them. And
I like to call them your partners, but
Yeah.
your collaborators.
They might not feel mutually the same.
Right.
So with my question, where would you, somebody that's like their course is almost done, and they're like, I want to launch in October sort of thing. Right now we're about August. So, they got 3 months. What's sort of like, without giving it all away, because obviously we want people to hire you because you're going to help them way more than what they could help themselves, because it helps to have somebody.
But this is a great opportunity to give your free stuff away.
Totally.
Right? The more you give.
So
I am happy to give it all away.
Yeah. What would you suggest?
Okay. So, you want to launch in October. All right. It's not a lot of time. How big is your list right now?
Let's just say their list is less than 1,000. So they're still pretty small.
Right. Just
So
starting
they need
off.
they need partners.
Chris is on right now, and he said, "That's me. I'm launching in October." So here we go, Chris. His list. I think Chris is over 1,000, but that's okay.
Okay, number one, you need your core value statement, which is basically, the description of. Oh, he just got here, so he missed it. So, but it's basically the description of the core value of why your course is different, and why it's helpful for people. And then you're going to need to make a list of potential partners who can help you promote it. You're going to start with people that you know, but ideally people who have a bigger audience than you do. And then you're going to go to people that you don't know, but you're going to find people who are who offer complementary things to what you offer. So so like if you well, let's say I teach about like partnerships and launches. So I can partner with somebody who helps people create online courses, right? And then I can help you launch it after you create it, right? So so you want to focus on finding people with bigger audiences, and then you want to figure out what you can offer partners that's going to be just a no question huge win for them. So your offer is not going to be, hey, will you please promote my thing? It's going to be something like, hey, would you be interested in this VIP day where I can help you get these results? Or, would you be interested in this affiliate commission? I can offer you this affiliate commission. That only really works as a pitch if you have a proven earned per click, which you don't yet if it's a brand new course. So, but also you want to focus on the value for their audience of here's why this course is awesome. Here's why it's going to help your people. And therefore, here's why you might want to share it. And so then you're going to start approaching people. And I have a whole technique for approaching people. It's pretty simple. I have some templates for it. It's I think if you go to authenticpartnership.rocks/email-influencers, I think it's there. I'll find the link. But anyway, so it's how to email influencers. It's basically exactly what to say in your outreach. And then and if you want people in October, you want to start reaching out right now. Because people with big lists, oftentimes their promotional calendar is full a year in advance. So it's definitely too late for people with really big lists, but it's for people with like medium-sized lists. Again, if it's valuable for their audience, if it's a good offer for their audience. And so you want to start right away reaching out to potential partners. And at the same time, you want to start figuring out what your launch content is going to be. Because again, I do think it's really valuable to have all of this, the free stuff. You want to give away as much free stuff as you can. So you want to think about the different ways you can engage people, different ways you can present your story, the different ways you can inform and teach people, and then the different ways you can ask them to buy, ask them to commit to be part of your course without it feeling like you're begging, without it being hype, And one really good way to do that too is to have a list of like, here's who this is for. And not one of those stupid things like this is for people who want to grow their business, or this is for people who are doers and shakers, and this is not for people who are losers. Yeah,
I like what Tad says. He's like actually putting out there like who this course is not for.
Yeah,
exactly, who it's not for. I totally stole that from Tad, but I think it's really effing important because the more specific that you are about who it's for and who it's not for, then the more people are gonna, like the right people are gonna read it and be like, oh, this is
which is so important, like for our peace of mind, to be working with people that are actually, our people. Because we've learned from having people who aren't really in alignment, and they usually take 90% of your time.
Yeah, because they don't get it. They don't get you. They don't get your process. It's just like, it's just a constant headache, and it's way better to just give them their money back or not accept their money in the first place.
Right. And kind of put that
I actually have a lot of kind of not super explicit, relatively explicit stuff about my politics on my sales pages. Because it is extremely important to me not to work with clients who are opposed to me politically because I'm real political.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's going to attract more people that actually are in alignment with you, and just makes your life and your conversations, like we've been chatting about, just so much easier. Yeah, and it just becomes it's like, well, if I spent the weekend at a protest camp,
and then I'm like coming down on Monday talking with my client, like I don't want to have to hide that piece of myself. I don't want to have to be like, oh yeah, what'd you do this weekend? I was protesting ICE, like, I don't want to not be able to talk about that, because it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we've got, that's a great list. We've got that sitting there in the chat now as well. And
if you need a butt kicking out there, then you can go to Lisa Sout, authenticpartnership.rocks/epic-launch. The link is in the thingamabobber, the live chat, and it'll be in the show notes as well. There'll be a link there.
And I've got one last question.
Yeah, you got another?
I've just got one last question. So it's 2018, the middle of, and we're quite familiar with a lot of the older launch techniques. What are you seeing for the future? What's coming down the pipeline, like new techniques, new platforms, that sort of stuff?
Well, I've been saying for years, text marketing is a big thing. And we're seeing that a lot with nonprofits and live events. I think that's going to be more and more a thing, which sucks.
You said text marketing?
Text instead of email.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a Twitter-like thing, but just right to your phone, texting?
Well, no, I mean like real texts, like texting, like, I mean, you see that you probably, like if you're on any list for nonprofits, a lot of them will do text, like, I'm on a lot of political groups, and so they'll have like a text will come out saying, hey, there's an action tomorrow. Can you come to this protest? I get that a lot. So I think that kind of thing is going to filter down to more of the online world, which is going to be really annoying, but there you go.
Yeah, I can imagine. Right?
And I also think live in-person stuff.
Wow, what a concept.
That's actually something I wanted to talk to you about today. That was a part of my retreat, is like we need to start creating some live events and getting the people together.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
It's far from a new thing. Yeah. But I think the online community is going to go more in that direction.
Yeah.
And that's an important part of even our philosophies, because we're doing all this online education. We feel that it's actually an important part of our business to be also exercising. Let's get together in person, flesh and blood. Let our hearts beat together. Let's feel it. And that's something that is so important. And so many people out there, caught in their cubicles, in their apartments, everything's so separate. We're so alone. We're more lonely, they say, today in these huge cities than we've ever been. But we're closer physically, beside walking by 10,000 people on your way to work every day. It's quite a conundrum.
This could just be my little bubble, but I suspect this might not just be my bubble. I think there's going to be more of a, and I'm only saying this because you've kind of hinted at it a couple times, Blair, but I think there's going to be more and more of spiritual approach to business. A launch that I just worked on recently, we actually had an energy healer work on the launch, which was really crazy and awesome. I was like, this is a thing? I had no idea. But it was really cool. And I think, that just that kind of mindset of this isn't just about launching a thing, but more of a merging, I guess, of spirituality and business. I think we're moving that direction too.
Maybe we need to hire somebody to do Reiki on our sales pages.
Yeah,
I know somebody.
Right, it sounds like it.
A launch medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to say too on that note, I really like your chakra earrings.
I have a whole bracelet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you. There's a tree of life on them too. So.
Oh, nice. Right on. Sweet.
Well, Lisa, this is it's always wonderful to connect with you.
Yes.
And more conversations to come. We will, I would like to check in 3 months from now once you've worked with a whole bunch more people on their launches and just build that e-course.
Yeah, totally. And just keep us in the loop. If you've, as things progress for you too. I know our listeners or viewers would love to have you back on just to chat and see how how everything's going. So it's been great, really informative. I've learned a lot too, so that's great.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. It's always so great to talk with y'all. And
well, keep up the amazing work you're doing in the world, sister.
Thank you. You too. I'm super excited about this show. I told my kids I was going to be on TV. They're like, oh.
Yeah, I know. It's so
now
much
you
fun,
get to
right?
show them.
Oh, I will. They'll get bored halfway through. They're little.
Right.
That's cool. You'll earn some cool points in their eyes. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, Lisa.
Awesome, Lisa. Well, we'll see you again soon.
Yes.
Bye. Well, Bradley,
I guess it's that time.
what time is that?
It's time for the segment where we show you how did you do that? And this week, we're going to the top of Marketer Ridge, where we're going to show you how we scaled up and over the cliff wall.
Whoa.
Let's check this out.
All right, so I'm going to screen share here. Let's bring it in. So this is, let's see, 12-3. So we're climbing. Last week we showed you us with what we called the Epiphany. We were climbing up the scaling the vertical cliff, Batman style, all the way up. So we showed you how to do this. This is the one right after talking about the conversation, which is fitting. And so we had a lot of fun because we kind of said to ourselves, like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, how do we, like, we knew we're climbing up. What do we do next?
How do we get over, there's got to be a cliff wall or a ledge or something
that just
for
makes
us to
sense
get up.
if we're making a movie, this is just the logical next scene. So we kind of had to think, how do we do that?
And so this is fitting for today as well with the whole launch idea, because this is about creating a marketing strategy and how the conversation is a huge piece of that, which we touched on earlier.
So hopefully it's not too loud.
Alright, so this all sounds really awesome, but what does this conversation actually look like?
Well, there's no easy answer to that question, because we all have our own wildly unique and creative ways of doing things. And so, this is why it's such a wonderful thing. There's infinite potential and possibilities with us.
Right.
We need to identify our manifesto or our big statement, though. We have to know what we stand for, what we believe in, and where we are headed. This is what...
I like the echo there.
Yeah, I know. I forget. It's been so long since we made these.
And what we're talking about there is that unique point of view. What makes you unique to everybody else?
Yeah.
So this was a very fun scene for us to create. We did a whole bunch of takes to try and get it right. And Blair, do you want to show how we did that? So here's Blair's nicely organized folder with all of the great eCourse Adventure videos. This is worth a fortune here. This little folder.
Yeah, it's actually, while we're here, like it's really important as you are creating your courses to keep yourself as organized as possible.
Yeah.
So we're going to our footage folder, and you can see this is a bunch of the raw material. And let's open.
We got videos.
Here it is.
I haven't watched this for
Take
years.
7.
Take 7.
Take 7.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Action.
I like the grunting.
Alright, so this all sounds really awesome, but what does this conversation actually look like?
Well, there's no easy answer to that question, because we all have our own wildly unique and creative ways of doing things.
So, as you can see here, we've got, I think it was just a living room coffee table.
Yep.
A couple chairs on either side with a couple pieces of firewood behind my head to hold, very high tech.
Yeah.
And we're actually got you guys.
Our legs were under the coffee table, and then we had to literally try and drag our legs across to create that leverage thing where it made it look like we're pulling ourselves up.
Yeah, in full regalia. And so you eventually get all the way up, teaching the lesson,
And we had a teleprompter right in front of, or right behind the camera, which was on the TV, and that is basically, we're basically reading the teleprompter as we go.
Yeah, so that's it. As you can see, like, no matter what take we do, because we had the teleprompter and we had it already scripted out what we want to say, it makes it a lot easier, because as we've learned from the past, you come up, you're trying to somewhat act in theme to what's going on. There's a lot to be doing.
Yeah.
And so it's really refreshing and nice to have it already scripted out to your highest ability to communicate what you're trying to do in this lesson.
And then all we had to remember to do was grunt and read, basically.
Yeah, totally.
And so that's what it is. It's a coffee table with a green piece of fabric, and what it turned out to be just looks like a lot of fun.
So going back, when you have that there, it's 12. Where are we? Here we go.
So that's it. There's the coffee table. Our legs are under the coffee table right there.
Awesome, but
and we're just kind of like propping ourselves up on our knees, and then we lift ourselves
back up, and then that's it. We've got a couple different layers here. So we've got a foreground layer of some snow. We've got the background layer of the mountains. I've got another foreground layer of snowflakes.
what does this conversation actually look like?
Well, there's no easy answer.
And as you can see, like, as far as the entertainment aspect, there's nothing like really fancy going on here, but we're immersing you in the story. As we're climbing to Launch Summit, the environment that we're going through is changing. But essentially, like, we could have easily just been standing in front of a white background and just telling you, like, hey, if you're going to market your course, it's all about the conversations you're having. So what kind of conversations you want to have? Do this journaling exercise. But what fun is that? You would have gotten bored, like, 39 videos ago, and then you would have quit. But because we're keeping you in this story world, you're like, I can't wait to see what happens next. And while I'm binge watching this, I'm going to do the homework, because these are some really good journaling questions. So that's part of the beauty of this. And as you can see, like, it wasn't overly complicated. Now that you know how we made this, you could go create a scene. You could climb up on the top of a building. You could climb up. You could do so much with just a table. And
it doesn't cost a lot of money to do it. Just some green fabric, a couple pieces of firewood, a couple chairs, and just getting creative. That's the kind of the name of the game. And then the other part that we keep stressing is staying in theme and selling through your acting.
Yeah.
This scene, make it more realistic. So the grunting, kind of like, oh my God, they're a little tired. And then at the end here, this is something that we got into doing for a lot of our lessons, is in each scene we somehow communicate where we are to interact. So here at the end, this is the last like maybe 30 seconds, I'll play it, and you can see how we actually enjoy the view from here.
We made it. So, anyways, we're gonna check out this epic view.
I'm gonna go back. I want to see what we just did there. We played with the audio.
Woo! Congratulations, we made it. So, anyways, we're gonna check out this epic view.
Yeah, a little bit of delay for the echo.
Wow. Nice climb.
Yeah.
So that was often like every single lesson, all 92 of them, there's a call to action that we give the student. For this one, it was around designing your marketing conversations, the conversations that you're wanting to have with your audience that enroll them into your point of view, and they get them to really start to see things from how you see things, so that they want to take a journey with you. And so every single lesson has a call to action, like go do these exercises, go do these next steps, go watch these tutorials on setting up your platform, whatever it might be. And so for you, as you're setting up your courses, it's really important that every single video lesson has a clear call to action. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to do like a 45-minute video tutorial. We used to do that with 9 call to actions of like, do this, then this, then this, then that, then this, then this, then that, then this. And that's just like, it's overwhelming. Try and break things down into micro steps so that people can have fast wins that give them the momentum and the confidence
Makes
they
them
need to take
feel
the next
good
step.
that they can accomplish it without tons and tons of time, because we're all so busy. We're trying to fit a lot of these courses into maybe an hour a night, you know, with the children doing their stuff and your day job, and you know, everyone's got so much going on. And it's an opportunity for us to create multiple lessons. And so the more short lessons that you have, the more they come back, the more you get to communicate and keep this conversation rolling.
Exactly. So hopefully you learned something or got inspired to go try something out with your own green screen. And if you're not in the Green Screen Magic course, check out greenscreenmagic.com and check it out. If you want to learn how to set up your shots, set up your lighting, but not only that, how to communicate your message more effectively, how to create the types of worlds that we create, and how to become a green screen magician yourself. You're going to love the course. It's actually pretty freaking epic. We're very proud of it.
Yeah, some of the best work we've done.
Hey!
Nice work, Bradley.
Better work to come, though.
Yeah.
So, if you have one of the scenes or lessons that we've created from the Great E-Course Adventure, Green Screen Magic, or the Art of E-Course Creation, if there's a scene that you're like, whoa, how did they do that? Let us know what it is. We would love to show you in next week's How Did We Do That section of the show. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you, viewers out there in Watcher and Listener land. We appreciate all of you so much. And if you like the show today, let us know. Subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment or a question. And we look forward to seeing you around the digital campfire in the community.
All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Get her done.
Bye.